জানি। আজিজের সঙ্গে কাজ করে কেমন লাগলো?
You know, of course, as a director, we all know what kind of a director he is.
তাই জন্যই জিজ্ঞেস করছি আমি।
Yeah, but one of the biggest lessons I learned from him as a human being is that if, you know, things happen, there are stresses at work, this, that and the other. But just as long as you're feeling positive from within, no, everything gets solved. The idea is to just enjoy the scene and forget everything else.
আচ্ছা।
It's that kind of, again, no preparation or anything of that sort. But yes, I had read the script, and he wanted Priya, the character I played, to be like any other normal girl. So there was no, he said, if you think Priya is you, Priya is you. It's as,
আচ্ছা, বুঝতে পারছি।
yeah.
হ্যাঁ।
So I just went onto the set, and we'd sit with the scene. Whoever, whether it was Shahid or the other actors, we'd just read it a couple of times. And then we just strike that. If he was happy with it, we'd shoot instantly.
Okay.
So basically, there was on his set. It was a very stress-free environment. You didn't realize you were working.
আচ্ছা।
And I think there's a joy, and I also.
সেটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট। আমার কাছে সেটা খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট।
No, I think it's very important to enjoy work, but that's because it was an Aziz Mirza. It was okay. It was not just fun and frolic. He managed to get his moments out. But sometimes it ends up being just fun and
একটু
yeah,
তার একটা ডেঞ্জার থাকে যে খুব
but not with an Aziz Mirza because he's seasoned.
নিশ্চয় তো কি পরিণীতা করবার পর ট্রেডিশনাল মানে একটু ওল্ড টাইম বেঙ্গলি রোলস করার অনেক অফার এসেছিল? অনেক না? হ্যাঁ, আমি জানি।
But I was, you know,
তখন তুই
honestly
ঠিক করেছিলি আমি করতে চাই না।
No, because I was getting different kinds. I was trying to pick the best within what I got. Best variety also. So I was trying to do this, that and the other. Some worked, some didn't work. But I was just saying, okay, acha, is there something different I'm getting to do here? Okay, let me do it. I didn't want to do an extension of Parineeta anywhere. And I think I managed that. But honestly speaking, I really feel if I was born 40 years ago,
কি হতো তাহলে?
I would have just, I feel so at home in, you know, I think I would have rocked in the 60s by God's grace.
আসলে তোর ওই হ্যাঁ তোর
yeah, there's something, there is a, I just feel, I feel very
culturally
much
ওই পিরিয়ডটাতে রিলেট করিস
completely, and all these moments and all that we were talking about, I just enjoy all that. I enjoy.
তোর কি এখন মনে হয় যে মেইন স্ট্রিম হিন্দি এন্টারটেইনমেন্টে এই মোমেন্টসগুলো স্পেস এখনো আছে বিদ্যা?
I think mainstream commercial cinema invariably has a very thin storyline. Pardon me for saying this, but and it has a lot of fluff around it. So you know that you need so many songs. You need, you know, a little dose of everything. So you lace the story. The story itself, I don't think, is king.
Okay.
Sing is king.
Okay.
But I think in what's happening, like we were.
তখন কি লুকটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট হয়ে যায়?
Yeah, you know, where you shoot it, how you shoot it, all those things. And it's just a pace, you know, where you go, you just forget about everything else for those 2.5 hours and you come out. It's not cinematic moments we're talking. It's not moments for it, you know, that you'll remember and you'll say, yeah. Some very, very few people are able to manage that. But I think the number of people being able to manage that is now dwindling even more. But also, what's interesting, thanks to the multiplexes, is that there are lots of different kinds of films that are being made.
আর সেগুলো দেখতে পাচ্ছে লোকে?
Yeah.
হ্যাঁ, আর একটা কি জানিস, মাল্টিপ্লেক্স জিনিসটার মধ্যে যাই হোক না কেন, ইটস অলমোস্ট একটা মানে সিনেমাটিক নেট সার্ফিং এর মতন তো, কিন্তু এই অপশনগুলোর মধ্যে মাল্টিপ্লেক্সে তুই একবার ঢুকে পড়লে তার কোনো বায়াস নেই। যেই তুই ওই স্পেসটার মধ্যে ঢুকে পড়লি, সেখানে অমুক স্ক্রিনে ওটা, অমুক স্ক্রিনে এটা, অমুক স্ক্রিনে এটা, জাস্ট নেমস। তখন না তোকে অলমোস্ট একটা ওই এরিয়া অফ ডেমোক্রেসিটা দাঁড় করিয়ে দিচ্ছে, যেখানে you choose.
We still look at multiplex films as a very urban phenomenon, but I think slowly, you know, those lines are being blurred. Slowly you will begin to see a lot of all kinds of people, because they have, like you said, they realize that they have a choice. They also want to see, I don't know, how would you define a Tari Zameen Par? Do you call it a multiplex film?
Absolutely. Or a mainstream film?
Yeah, because
Or-
it did very well commercially also. It may not have stuck to the formula, which is why it's not
Or
a
it didn't
mainstream
thrive on the main formula of making an
But it was, you know, at the same time there was
আমি যেমন একজন আমাকে বললেন যে রুরাল সাবজেক্ট, আমি বললাম রুরাল সাবজেক্ট, কারোর কোনো ইন্টারেস্ট নেই রুরাল সাবজেক্ট সম্পর্কে। বললো না, এই যে কাউচ অ্যাক্টিভিজম, মানে আই এম অ্যাওয়্যার অফ মাই কান্ট্রি। আমি তখন দেখলাম হ্যাঁ, ওয়েলকাম টু সাজনপুর তো দেখছিল কে, যে আমি আমার ড্রয়িং রুমে বসে কিন্তু আমাদের দ্য হোল প্রাইড অফ যে আমি কিন্তু অ্যাওয়্যার অফ মাই ইন্ডিয়া। এটার জন্য এখন রুরাল সাবজেক্টকে একটা মানে তার একটা অন্য ইন্টারেস্ট তৈরি হচ্ছে, হয়তো হচ্ছে সত্যি।
No, I think also people are realizing that these small films are not they're not inaccessible, or films that alienate. A lot of films from what we call the art film house,
Absolutely.
a lot of times have a tendency to alienate. They're so intellectual, or sometimes cerebral, or sometimes pardon me for saying this, but even pseudo intellectual, that it alienates a crowd. But today, a Welcome to Sajjanpur is a lovely, it's a nice story. People want to watch that kind of film, and at the same time it's not mindless.
Emotion,
everything. You know, there are examples of so many films. There was Bheja Fry, there was all those kind of films. You know, I saw Luck by Chance. I completely loved the film.
আচ্ছা, রকেটের থেকে বেটার?
No, I don't think it's
comparable.
Yeah, they're completely different films.
আচ্ছা,
but I love the film. You know, it's an insider's perspective on the film industry, and the small nuances that she's captured, whether about the film industry, which is almost it's funny because it's almost like a spoof, and at the same time जो रिश्तों के बारीकी होते हैं, she's picked it up beautifully. Every actor in that film has done complete justice. So I just think that, you know, there's so many, I don't know how many of these films will work. Today Farhan has become a star.
So maybe the whole phenomenon of Farhan becoming a star, এইটা তুই ভাবতো, এটা কয়েক বছর আগে হলে কেউ ভাবতো? তার মানে ইন্ডিয়ান সিনেমার মানে ম্যাপটা কিভাবে চেঞ্জ করে যাচ্ছে। আমরা কিন্তু ফিল্ম মেকাররা অডিয়েন্স এটা নেয় বলে আমরা কিন্তু কেটার করে যাচ্ছি, আমরা একবার চেষ্টা করি না যেটাকে চেঞ্জ করতে। যেই চেষ্টা করি এবং অডিয়েন্স সেটা নেয়, তখনই উই মেক দ্যাট ইনটু আ ফর্মুলা। দেখবি যে কেউ একটা নিল, অমনি এখন রকমের মতো অনেকগুলো ছবি হবে করে, obviously audience will get bored.
No, which is what is strange. What happened to me after Parinita is everyone, not everyone, but a large number of the guys kept coming and saying, बिल्कुल Parinita जैसी फिल्म है, कोई कर सकता है तो आप कर सकते हो. But that is exact. Of course, I'm not talking about the established filmmakers, but it's sad that people want to adhere to a certain stereotype.
Absolutely.
But I think now, with all kinds of films working, you know, that slowly, for example, Manorama 6 Feet Under, you know, small films, but just good effort, you know. I'm doing a film which is,
Vishal
Bharadwaj has produced it. Abhishek Chaubey, who used to be his associate director and writer, he's directed it. It's got Nasir Arshad and me. And it's a very different film. It is, it's not a mainstream commercial film, but I guess it is a commercial film. And it's a very different story. We're all in a different space from what, you know, we're, I can't say that necessarily for Nasir because he's constantly doing different kind of work. But I think for Arshad and me, it's a very different
Different
space
journey,
to be. And I completely enjoyed it. And I've also come to realize that, you know, something that someone very early, actually Vinod Chopra, he told me, he said, dharmaha matibhyaha udgritaha, which is, जो आपको आपके मति को आपके बुद्धि को सही लगे वही आपका धर्म है. So today I've always gone by the gut instinct, but sometimes you tell yourself that your gut is saying something because you want to convince yourself of a certain decision. I no longer do that. I'm doing exactly the kind of work that I want to be doing.
Absolutely, সেটা সবথেকে ভালো. এই স্ট্রেসটা নিজের উপর নেওয়া মানে না তখন নিজেকে জাস্টিফাই করা, মানে আমার অডিয়েন্স স্যাটিসফাইড হলো কি হলো না হলো এতগুলো প্রেশার নেই।